The second aspect is a connection matrix. So once you've identified the cortical areas in your brain and the subcortical areas within that set, then for each of the cross connections, what are the fibers that are the cross connections within that, and how many millimeters squared of volume of fiber is connecting from one area to the next within that set. When we go to the between subject alignment, we provide you brain 1 and some labels, at least key areas on brain 1 based on the functional data. Your task will be to provide similar matrices on the rest of the subjects, plus to provide an more elaborated version on brain 1, and to put them in register so that we can look at the correlations across the brains of the individuals within the competition. You will provide a label table, a spreadsheet identifying what your cortical areas are, their tailored locations, and the optional labels of those locations. The optional labels will not be used for scoring. So now let me shift to the conference itself. The 2009 Brain Connectivity Competition will include a special workshop on June 22nd at the Organization of Human Brain Mapping. At that workshop, we'll give $10,000 for the first place prize, $5,000 for the second, $1,500 for the third place, and we'll provide a board choice neuroscience prize. This is which application, independent of the quantitative score, does the board feel made the best contribution in terms of the neuroscience represented in the submission. We are hoping to provide a resource to focus information to help you in this process of creating and working on the competition. We'll post questions, get help from others via looking at the forum. In terms of links, we'll provide links for readings, lectures, software downloads that you might be able to use. There'll be some MATLAB code to facilitate reading and writing the related files. There'll be an additional webcast to provide help in March. This is the tentative timetable. We will be releasing the initial portion of the data on February 16th. We expect to have mirror sites both in Switzerland and South Korea so that you can download from different regions of the world. Then we'll provide releases of the data, an additional webcast, activate the scoring program, and then wait for the submissions. Now, the submissions on May 1 is the date that the quantitative submission must be entered. We also require that you provide a small 4-page type write-up of the submission. Those will be due a few days after the quantitative submission must be entered. And then we'll identify the top scores within that process. We expect to have options to have posters at the Organization of Human Brain Mapping, and typically we can provide a number of posters on the morning of the competition. And then on June 22nd, we will announce at OBHBM the winners and give the awards. I want to comment about this competition works closely with a board of advisors. On the website, you'll see the list of advisors who have provided us details. As I mentioned, we have some of the world's experts in these new diffusion techniques. Daniel Alexander, for example, helped us on the high angular resolution case, and Patrick Hegman on the multi-shell element. David Van Essen, for example, has helped us on the neuroanatomy. All of these members participate, and we seek to design the competition so that it might advance the field. I call your attention to the list of flags at the top, and note that we have input in terms of either staff or advisors from a variety of nationalities in the competition. The University of Pittsburgh is the home of the competition, and my technical staff is involved in dealing with the data and the analysis, the administrative staff in terms of dealing with the emails from the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. The radiology department is where we have been doing the analysis under the direction of Fernando Boda. Andrew Blechner is the radiologist, and he's stayed us helping with the scanning protocols. And in terms of anatomy, we also have the benefit of one of our neurosurgeons, Juan Fernandez Miranda, in this process. So this is the group that is providing the details for the competition. Now, as mentioned, we will be answering a series of questions, so I encourage you to click on the answer button if you have not done so and you have a question, and submit that. Please enter your country in that, and I'm going to start with a series of frequently asked questions based on past competitions that we have done. So the first one is, can you work in groups? Yes, across institutions as well. Note, any group gets only one prize, and you have to figure out how to divide it. Also, we have a restriction that any one institution can only get one cash prize in the competition. Can you publish the work and use the data? Yes, we encourage you to do so. We seek joint publication for top entries. The only requirements is you need to cite the competition data in terms of its source and any publications that describe our methods, and you operate under the restriction of no publication before the OHBM date, and do not show recognizable renderings of the subjects so that we maintain confidentiality. How many times can you submit the data? On the test subjects, we allow 5 data submissions, and we will provide you scores. We do not want you resubmitting and tweaking the process. The purpose of that submission is one of being a test of the methods that you have, and in the past we've found it takes several cases to work out all the processes involved, so that's why we give you 5 submissions on the data. Are there any other questions?
Yes. From the Netherlands, how do we get information on the submission details for file formats?
Okay, those there'll be a detailed description of the procedures involved on the web page, all the file formats, example, for example, scripts in MATLAB to read the file formats and things of that sort.
From China, do you provide software to work with?
We will provide links to software. I'm pleased to say that many of the key software packages that we have found useful in this are available in the public domain, and on the web page there will be a description of key links within that set.
And our last question is from the U.S. How many groups do you expect?
We don't know. In previous competitions, we've had about 270 people who downloaded the data. We've typically had about 40 groups that actually submit entries within that process. So those are examples of the elements that we deal with. So let me close. This is a competition in which we are dealing with a truly historic problem, which is mapping the human connectome. We are at a point in time where new technology is now available that suggests that we can make substantial progress on that effort. I hope this competition will be a cooperative element. In past years, people have shared tools and insights in order to advance the field and advance the methodology within that process. I encourage you to sign up for the competition and follow us. Thank you.